I think we're up to vlog 57. Anyway, it wasn't that long ago that I used to get up every morning, drive the car, park it right there, get out with the keys, open the gate, walk in, open Steve's shop up, and then about 10-15 minutes later, Steve would roll in, would have a bit of a laugh about probably me filming something, and would get on with our day and build these awesome Y62 patrols. But Steve Allan's Mechanical, that has been kind of like an icon. It's right in the centre of the main street of Virginia. That sign that used to be there has been there for 10 years. Virginia, it's a little township we live in. Like, we've all taken our cars to Steve Allan's Mechanical to get serviced. We've watched their kids born, grow up, become friends with my kids. Like, the whole town knows Steve Allan and Marion. But Steve Allan's Mechanical in Virginia, it's finished. It's done. Over. No more. Which is a bit sad. Steve started this business over 10 years ago, and before that was like a mobile mechanic just to get on his feet. It was a huge level up to move into this building, and then he built the workshop and built the office at the front and has improved the facility. And then he's put it all on the line to come over with me at 4x4 DNA to do all this accessory fitting. And it's as a moment in time to choose to keep doing what you're doing and get the same result, or find a way that you can level up to get to that next space that you want to be in. So with Sharon and I going into business with Steve and Marion, we can share that sort of that business responsibility, and hopefully he can get some more time away with his family and vice versa. But now it's shut. Fizzwater taken over. Steve Allan Mechanical is finished, but we're going to continue to look after all of his Virginia customers at 4x4 DNA because we're doing mechanical there and servicing. So we'll do all our logbook servicing for patrols, Navaras, all the people in Edinburgh Park that come down from the RAF base. We can do all the service work like we always have, or Steve always has. It's just be under the new banner of 4x4 DNA, and we've got a whole new customer group, a bit closer to Elizabeth at Edinburgh now. So it's sad, but it's exciting. Heaps has happened to get ready for this. I'm going to take you to Eddie now, and I'll show you what's been going on. Just doesn't look the same, does it? And this is where it's all going to happen now. We firmly have got our place here at 7 Bell Chambers Road, Edinburgh North, or fondly known as Eddie. Heaps has had to happen and change and move here to accommodate for Steve and his team and the mechanical business coming in here. I'll give you a walkthrough so you can see a bit of an update of what's going on. You see the car park now, because it's early, it's next to empty. You wait. A bit later today, when all the cars start rolling in for the mechanical stuff, this place is chockers. You can't move. I'll take you through into the showroom here. So this showroom is serving two purposes now, because we'll have all the dash off road stuff that we sell in here. Plus we've got all, when customers drop their car for accessory fitting, this is where they come and meet and greet, and we go through the job, etc. But all the mechanical customers are here too. So Sharon's on this side, Marion's on the other side. Well, that might change, but there's so much stuff that's had to come in, printers and shredders and books and all sorts of things. Come out into the workshop space, more stuff here too. So now we've got, nice bar there. Now we've got, obviously we've got to clean up a bit, but a full tyre fitting, balancing sort of setup. Heaps more gear had to come into the workshop. This is the kind of the fitting side. I'll take you upstairs actually. Upstairs now. How cool is this? This window we can see out, but when we're on the other side, you could see the perforated sticker that, so it's a one-way window. So this means, I want to move all the tyres out of the way, we can have a bit of a lunchroom here and look out the window and no one can see us. Now you're seeing a bit of dash stock up here. So these are 40 sets of flares actually. Been waiting a while to get these flares in, but they're here. But DNA has taken some of the dash warehouse, so we're going to have to store some of this stuff up here, and everything else, all the customer parts are up top on top of the, like we're on top of the showroom now, on our mezzanine level, looking out onto the workshop over that way. I'll take you through that little hole over there because I'll show you what's had to change on that side. All right, so we've added another 4-poster hoist here from Steve Allan's. We've got this taped line on the ground here, and that's kind of where 4x4 DNA is like just come over this side. At the moment, it's got all the stuff from Steve Allan's there, but this is going to be another hoist. So we're going to end up having essentially 5 hoists. We've got 4 mechanics, or partly 5, because Steve's son's been working here a bit on work experience at the moment too, and Sharon, I, Steve, Marion, there's 9 of us all working at Eddie now, so it's getting pretty full on. You'll notice the container's gone out of the warehouse too. So we've moved the container, which was like our office and more storage, outside. So that's where Marion took my desk, so I got booted into the container. We'll talk about that a bit more in a second. But we've had to put heaps more racking in, so we're basically empty at the moment. The shipment due in a couple of weeks, but this place is going to be chockers with stock, so we've got as much up on the racking as possible, but soon all through the middle here will be full of predator bars and everything else that's coming in too. Yeah, so out here, this is where my office got moved to. You remember this, I used to have this around at Brooks Lift and Shift, although I'm making space here because I think we're going to need more people. So my office has now been moved down here. So this is the container that was at Steve Allan's that I was fitting out, and I just gave up on for a while. So I'm going to have to get back into this. So this container is going to have to get finished off and will become my office again. Again, I'm working out of a shipping container. But I kind of love shipping containers, so that's all right. I just got to get someone in to finish it off and do it all properly because I just don't have time anymore. Right, now we're in action. Got all the mechanics in now, pulling stuff apart, fixing things, adding accessories. It's all happening. Oh, it's all happening. So changing gears a little bit, we've got the 4x4 show coming up in Adelaide this weekend, and 2 weeks after that, it'll be in Perth. And like every trip, like every show, it's a big rush to get stuff done for the show. So the last couple of weeks we've been focusing on suspension. So we've ripped out my Smurf lift and put in a Tough Dog 30mm lift. And mainly just because I want to compare what it's like, because people are asking me a lot of questions about it. So I've driven Steve's, so I'll put it in my car. So I've actually ripped the upper control arms out as well, and to see if you need them. And I guess, do you need them? No. But just this last few days driving around, I do notice that the lack of caster I have. So you don't have to have them to get wheel alignment. You can get wheel alignment, but I still think I really enjoyed how much caster I got. I think I'm sitting about 3.5 at the moment, and I reckon a 1-inch lift on the Smurf lift with the UCAs were closer to 5. So it was kind of a bit extreme caster. So anyway, there's that. Sliders. Besides me using my own warranty, because I did bend them, so we're resending them to myself, I'm going to develop a new slider called -12. And you can probably work out what that is to match, because the sliders were too sucked in. I've changed the offset of my wheels, and the sliders were narrower than the actual tyre. So new sliders are coming. I hope they come in time. This is going to be a stretch. Still need to get the car detailed for this weekend. The supercharger is here, but there's just no time to get it on. So this Perth trip and show is going to be without the supercharger, which is, it's probably the smart decision, which Steve keeps telling me. If we rushed it and something went wrong, I'm going to be halfway to Perth and needing a truck. So this way, run over on my own driveway. This way, we know the car is going to be fine and it can do it. What else is happening? Headers. I'm going to take you inside. I'm going to show you the headers we've been talking about. Back into the showroom. This is what I'm talking about. These are the headers that come factory, and when you actually get to see them face to face, they're all like crushed through here. But I don't know how they flow all right. They must flow all right. But when you look at it and compare them to something else, this was to be a dash header prototype, but it didn't work. So now it's in our showroom. Just one of the bends fouled against the steering rack. So back to the drawing board and we'll start that one again. But the problem is when you take the headers off, like they've got all these heat shields that you pretty much have to destroy. So when we took them off a few weeks ago, we had to put something back on. So we ended up putting pacemakers on, which I pinched from Steve. He loves me. Until we can get the next prototype of the dash header out, running with a pacemaker. But oh my God, it sounds so good. Like the dash exhaust was good before, but now with the pacemaker, high flows and headers, it's like a dragon has been unleashed. It's awesome. I'll give you a little rev, just a little one. Letting it rev for a second, because Steve always tells me off when I show this exhaust to customers that I just hop in the car and rev it, and it's an unlubricated engine. So I'll let it rev for a minute. But you can see the lift now in the background. Yeah, it's still sitting around that 30 mil. I reckon it looks just right. Looks good. Oh, that's enough oil, surely. Let's give it a squirt. All right, here we go. Squirt. I don't know if this is coming through on the camera. I swear it's popping flames. I love it. I think it's awesome. And if you ask, is it loud when towing or on the road and all of that? Yeah, it screams. This isn't for people that are worried about volume. So yeah, headers are cool, but headers get hot and they melt stuff. Actually, they melt everything. Even though we ceramic coated them, like anything that went near the headers is like molten now. I'll show you the plug that got melted. And once that happens, and like it throws fault codes. So that's the air fuel ratio sensor, the one at the top, and that's the wire that goes down. But when that starts to play up, it goes into like this sort of safety mode, and then it won't let the car, won't let the car go into overdrive, but it comes up with more fault codes for 6th and 7th because they're overdrive gears. And then that has a flow-on effect. And I found that this is actually happening in a few cars. We've got one here that we're working on. The exact same thing's happening. Headers, lithium start battery. So I've got a DCS in mine. This guy's got an iTech weld in his. And because they're such high voltages, it like amplifies the problem and you get these high voltage errors. So it's not the battery's fault on its own. It's not the header's fault on its own. But you end up getting a code, which is a result of both of them. So we've been going through all that. Steve, and there's no air fuel sensors in Australia at the moment, so Steve's had to like patch it all in to make it work, which he's done a fantastic job. Get out of the sun here. Except I just went for a little hot lap at lunch and engine lights come back on again. So I'll get the computer out and we'll have a look at that too. So headers, we've been talking on Facebook during the week about it. Only put headers on if you have to. If you're chasing power or sound, and nothing else matters, sure, put them on. But otherwise they cause problems. Heat. So at Beachport, when I came back, I'm pretty sure an engine mount has cracked. I'm guessing, and this is a guess, because of heat. Because I've never had a problem in any other car. As soon as I put headers on this one, engine mount cracked. Actually, this other one that's inside too, headers, engine mount cracked. Passenger side, and it feels like when the engine torques up, it's like the whole passenger side bank is trying to come through the floor, like the catalytic converter like vibrates under the floor. So I said this story to Andrew on track and he goes, I've got some unbreakable engine mounts. I'm like, woohoo, sounds like a challenge. So he's sent me some unbreakable engine mounts from on track, and if we get time, if they get here in time, we'll fit that up. So we're going to do sliders, detail, engine mounts, no chance supercharger, and then new bush barriers. So if I can get that all organised, I'll show you the bush barriers maybe later in the week. What are we doing, Steve?
I don't know, mate.
Virginia and Steve Allan Mechanical.
We finally did it. We finally joined together in a place that looks respectable.
Other place was alright.
No, it wasn't. It was dirty, dusty, but we managed out of it.
We were there. So the synergy of this working together is going to build something great. I can feel it. It's happening already. So now it's just onwards and upwards.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right, that's it. That's the day. Favourite part of the day now. Beer o'clock, 5 o'clock. We usually pace ourselves down, put the cars away, grab a beer, and get ready for the next day. So it's crazy here every day now. We're doing like the servicing and the fit outs, and getting everything ready for the show. But yeah, it's a good vibe. I think we'll call it. Thanks for watching this one. There's going to be more episodes coming up over the week. I'm going to start doing vlogs a bit more often throughout the show and on the way to Perth and the Perth trip, and there's an event going on over there as well. So we'll see you again on YouTube. Yeah. Taking new wheels.
Yeah.